Okay, so welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. So there was something being shown, a strange, vivid one that stuck with me long after, even afterwards. It was kind of haunting, and honestly, I believe it had something important to say. So today I want to share that message with you, and more importantly, I want to share the message hidden inside it. Because sometimes our minds speak in symbols, and if we listen closely, we can learn a lot. Our subconscious doesn't just speak, it shouts. And if we listen, we grow. So let me take you through it. So there was a woman and a man. They looked worn out, tired, and you could tell life had been weighing on them for a while. And they looked exhausted, like they'd been through too much for too long. The woman was holding these odd pets, a monkey, a squirrel, and even a bat. She was gentle with them, almost lovingly. And there was something tender in the way she cradled them, like they were her own children. But the guy, he had a son, a little boy, crying off to the side. And yet, neither of them seemed to care, and no one paid him any attention, not even a glance. It was as if their eyes were fixed on everything else but what truly mattered. And that hit me. It's like their priorities were out of place, and they were moving house, but not in the normal sense. They were also renovating a new one while ripping apart the old, salvaging glass, dangerous shards from ceilings, and trying to use them in the new structure. But instead of starting fresh, they were pulling glass panels and materials from the old house and dragging them into the new one. It wasn't clean or careful, it was desperate and messy and dangerous. Sometimes in life, we try to carry the past into the present. We salvage broken pieces of old experiences, old beliefs, old relationships, thinking we can make them fit in our new reality. But some things are just too sharp to bring along. And here's the crazy part. Now, there was something like standing right under a glass ceiling. Now, this wasn't beautiful stained glass or some architectural marvel. It was cracked, sharp, suspended with tension, and it felt wrong. And it wasn't safe. It was old, cracked, suspended in a way that made you feel uneasy. And the whole thing came crashing down. It came crashing down, Shards of glass exploding into the air and shattered. And if you didn't move, it would have seriously hurt someone, maybe worse. So there was a handyman nearby. Dusty clothes, worn hands rushed over. And he didn't want to throw the broken glass away. No, he wanted to plaster it onto the walls of the new house. He rushed over not to clear the glass, but to save it. Let that sink in, okay? So instead of starting fresh, instead of using safe, new, whole materials, he insisted on holding onto these shattered, dangerous pieces of the past. He said, we can still use this. No, he wanted to plaster it into the walls of the new home. Even though it was sharp, broken, dangerous, he insisted it still had value. And he could see that what once served a purpose no longer did. But he couldn't see it wasn't useful anymore. It was broken, unstable, and harmful. And he didn't want to throw it away. So here, the glass ceiling represents the weight of outdated truths, harmful patterns, toxic environments. And if we don't step away, they will collapse on us. And the handyman, that's our ego, that stubborn part of us that says, I can make this work even when it's broken beyond repair. The voice that says, don't throw it away, you might still need it, even when it's hurting us, And then there's the woman again. She looked so innocent, blonde, curly hair, a soft presence, caring hands. She cared for the animals. The squirrel nuzzled into her arm. The monkey perched on her shoulder. And she held the animals close to her chest, cooed at them, loved them, and then she placed one into the guy's lap. It wasn't what you would expect. It wasn't a monkey. It wasn't something cute. It was a bat. Its wings twitched, its face strange. It had this eerie feel, like something wasn't right, and something shifted. And that's when you realize this woman wasn't what she seemed. She looked nurturing, helpful, loving, but something in her energy was off. As nurturing as she looked, had something strange about her, something off, like she wasn't entirely who she appeared to be. There was a darkness underneath the surface, a kind of spiritual dissonance, almost like she embodied attachment and desire to keep old, broken things simply because we are afraid to let go. I realized this woman a quiet sense of danger hidden beneath kindness. And just like that, things spiraled. That woman, the one who looks kind, soft, nurturing, she's the emotional attachment we have to things that look safe but aren't. Trauma we've romanticized, relationships that feel warm but rot us from the inside. So, what is the lesson from all these visions? Now maybe you're wondering, what does all this mean? Here's what we can understand from it. We carry pain, memories, patterns, even when they are harmful, because we think they still have value. Sometimes in life, we try to rebuild our future using the pieces of our broken past. The glass ceiling, that's the weight of our past pressing down on us. You don't have to hold on to the dangerous parts of your past just because they once held value. Let them go. Create your new house from materials that are strong, safe, whole. And here's the truth. Not everything you carry is meant to come with you. That cracked glass, that toxic relationship, that old belief, let it fall. Build your new life with safe, whole, true pieces, not sharp fragments from a time that's already passed. And the woman with the bat, that's the part of us or people around us that seem kind on the outside but hold us back or bring quiet chaos into our lives. Love the creatures in your life, but learn to tell the difference between a pet and a bat disguised as one. So pay attention to your intuition, trust your gut. If something feels off, if something feels wrong, even if it looks gentle, even if it looks innocent, trust that feeling and pay attention. And never forget, sometimes the most dangerous place to stand is right under a ceiling that should have been taken down long ago. Because sometimes the most dangerous ceilings are the ones we are still standing under. So, if this resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. What have you been holding on to that no longer serves you? What glass are you trying to plaster into your life, even though it's time to let it go? And remember, not everything you carry is meant to come with you. And if you found meaning in this, give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more stories and insights like this one. So take care of yourselves and remember, you are not your past. You're what you choose to build next. So I will see you in the next one. Till next time, take care of yourselves. With much love. God bless.